Sabrina, you have raised $1 billion for nonprofit organizations during your career. That is an impressive number. I think a lot of people will look to you and think, how does that happen? Um, can you share with us what your formula is? How can nonprofit organizations, I mean, this is really a critical component for an organization's ability to fund programs, recruit staff, and have a real impact. What is your formula?
Number one, it starts with a realistic approach based on a theory you have with regard to how you're going to build a pipeline, how you're going to retain donors, how you're going to be able to service the donor program. And that theory has to be supported by data. And I think this is something that a lot of nonprofits don't necessarily spend enough time doing. And if we were to take a page out of the for-profit industry, we would understand the science that goes into building a sales pipeline. And so that's where it starts for me. It really starts with understanding what are my resources to be able to pursue funding, and and then looking at what we've done over the past, and then looking at what the goals are, what's realistic in terms of a timeline. And I think one of the biggest helps or impediments to this is leadership and the board, and understanding that in order to do this, it's going to take time. The second piece, you've got to have a menu of quality assets that you can call upon, which means that you can respond in a diligent and timely and thoughtful manner about the issue that you're representing. But you've also got to have resources. And those resources aren't just about those assets. Those resources are about other donors, experts, other people you can call on to actually be champions that make you, as the person who's fundraising, not the only one who's got to carry this goal forward. Understanding there are other people in the organization that might have other skills and information to provide. Understanding that there are donors who might have a desire to help you close some of those deals. Those resources are so important, in addition to those evergreen assets that are built with quality, built with creativity, and can be easily customized. You've got to spend time on that. And I think a lot of nonprofits don't invest in it. Mm-hmm. The third piece, as I was talking about, it's almost the most important piece: diligent, thoughtful, and timely follow-up. If you just do that, you will make money. You will make money because what you're probably doing is representing an incredible cause. And I think this is where people get stuck sometimes. You're not fast enough to respond because you're looking for the perfect response. The fourth piece, you've got to have an optimistic, generous mindset that's all about abundance. People can tell if you're coming from desperation. It's obvious. And people can tell, especially in our industry, if you feel competitive with other organizations or other causes, other nonprofits. I've always felt like there is enough out there for all of the great causes. And my optimism, my feeling that there's enough comes through. And when I talk about generosity, generosity is not just about giving money. There are a lot of currencies to generosity. So how can I demonstrate my generosity back to the donor? Maybe it's about introducing them to folks that I know in my network.
Yeah.
Maybe it's about introducing them to other organizations that I've heard them say they love this cause. So I want to make sure that then they get connected to the cause, to the nonprofit that I think is doing that work really well. Mm-hmm. Freeing yourself from feeling like you only need to make money for your organization is a big part of, I think, of having like a superpower. Mm-hmm. And the final piece is you've got to have a good set of OKRs that you evaluate regularly. You've got to come back and do the hard work and say, is my theory working? Was the data right?
Well, I know there are a lot of people out there who are more than appreciative of you sharing your secrets and the winning formula. And I think these steps can really help organizations bring in the dollars that they critically need to fund their work. So thank you.